All right, we're gonna go ahead and wait for the live stream to go through. I need to wait for my audio to come through, and then we'll get started right away here. Here we go, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Oopsies. All right. Everybody, all good? How we doing today, guys? All right. We're gonna get started very shortly here. Just waiting for my audio to come through, and then we'll be good to go. All right, audio is good to go, guys. Go ahead and drop your name in the chat. Let us know how you're doing. All right, so today we're going to be modeling is not our Nike shoe, which I kind of started practicing with before, but we're actually going to be modeling a boot. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new document here. Actually, I have my new document opened up right here. All right, so we're going to be using this document to model a boot. Let me go ahead and show you what that boot reference looks like. So we're going to be modeling a boot that I actually happen to have right here in person. All right, we're going to be modeling this boot. It is a hiker's boot. It is a Sonoma. Now, this is in no way sponsored by Sonoma, but again, we will be modeling this boot regardless. So this is our boot right here. We're going to be modeling this in Blender, and I'm going to kind of teach you the process of how I go about this. All right, let me just go ahead and shrink this so you guys can see. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move a few things around here. Now, one thing I will mention is that this live stream is going to kind of end with a little bit of a pitch to you guys on something new that we're going to be trying through CG Cookie involving a membership and our live streams. So stay tuned for that. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and add my image references in because we need something to reference here. Now, before I do that, though, I'm going to go back to my Nike over here. I'm going to go to add a cube in here, and I'm scaling this down because I have the proper dimensions of our Nike shoe right here, and I'm just going to kind of use these rough dimensions, maybe a little bit bigger than that. There we go. I'll copy this cube, go back into my boot modeling. I'll paste that in, and this is roughly going to be the size of our boot, right? And this is in Blender dimensions. So we'll go ahead and add in our references, and then we'll scale those down. So I'm going to go to Add Image Reference. I'll head over to my desktop, which is where I have everything saved. The very first thing I'm going to need is this side profile. I like to reset all of my rotations here, RX90 to go ahead and move that. Now, one of the cool things that I did is actually set up my iPhone on a tripod, and the reason I did that is so that I could get the same exact angle. I put the shoe in the same exact place, so I don't have to do too much crazy scaling to match this up. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my other profiles as well. I'm going to add in my second image reference. I'm going to want to get the other angle of the shoe, which looks almost the same, but it's not. All right, RX90. Now I am working with a new keyboard here, so I'm going to go ahead and press RZ180. And this, like I said, looks like the same side, but it's not. So it looks very similar, but it's not exactly the same. All right, so just keep that in mind as we start designing our shoe, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hide that. And then I'm going to add in a few more references here. We'll go ahead and add an image reference. We'll go ahead and add in our bottom of our shoe here. Now this one, we're going to want to keep that flat. And since we had our shoe facing that way, we'll go ahead and push this down. It would actually be reversed. So I'm going to do RX180. So it should actually look like that on the bottom. Again, we will be scaling all this down. Let's go ahead and add in another image reference here. Also, welcome back, guys. How's everybody doing? Doing good? Awesome. We have the bottom of the shoe. We have our two sides. And then we need the front of the shoe, which is this angle right here. And we'll come back to the back of the shoe because something's incorrect with my images. So, all right, there we go. All right, so that's the front of the shoe. We'll just push that back. And then we'll unhide everything. We'll select everything except for the cube. So I'm going to select all my images. And I'm just going to go ahead and scale them way, way, way down. Okay, I'm going to go to my X-ray mode. I'm going to move them into place. And I'm just scaling them to try to fit this cube as best as I possibly can here. I'm going to move this one back on the Y. Highlight them again. Side view. And then I'm just scaling them up just using the S key. And I'm trying to scale them in a way where they're all going to scale somewhat proportionally. That looks pretty good right there. I'll go ahead and take my box, and I'll just take the top of this box here. Just go ahead and take that top. Let's see, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just go ahead and bring that down. I want it to be roughly the right size. It doesn't have to be perfect, nothing too crazy here. Now for the bottom of the shoe, I do want that to be pretty darn close. So I'm going to go ahead and move everything around to space that out properly. Now the bottom of the shoe should try to line up with about the same dimensions here. Okay. Now in this case, it looks like I didn't line it up perfectly, so I'm going to scale this down just a little bit. Again, it should be about roughly the same size as this box. And the reason why is because we want everything to line up properly when we start to set up our scene here. I'm always going to kind of come back to this box, right? This is just very much roughing it out. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Now for the thinness here, we'll go ahead and move our front profile in. And it's about right. It's not perfect, right? Probably ends right about there. So this is just about perfect, at least enough to get us started here. And now we're going to kind of start blocking out our shoe. Now, when I did my last shoe, I started out by actually doing the bottom first. So I'm going to hide these other views. I'm actually going to take all of these reference images. I'm going to press M to move them to a new collection. I'm going to click on new collection, and I'm just going to type in ref for references. I'm going to hide everything except for the bottom, just like that. And I'm also going to hide my cube. And then I'm going to start by making one new collection. I'm going to try to keep things organized for you guys here. I'm just going to call this Soul. And I'm going to add in a single vert. All right, we'll go ahead and bring this over here. Okay, we have our single vert right here. In order to make sure this is a little bit more legible here, we'll click on the opacity tab on our reference, turn it down quite a bit, and we're just trying to get a rough shape. So I'll click on my single vert, which starts right here. We're not going to go into detail on the shoe, but we are going to just kind of outline our shoe and kind of fill it with quads here. So I'm going to tab into edit mode. I'm going to press E to extrude, and I'm going to start outlining this shoe. And remember, this is really, really basic. We're not going anything too crazy here. And I'm probably just going to do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll probably go every half unit here. 5, 6, 7. Again, we're going to be applying a subdiv to this anyway. I don't expect you guys to go too crazy. Try to get it as close as possible, because what we are going to end up doing is we're actually going to end up duplicating this to the other side, repositioning those, because what we want is we ideally want to have the exact same amount of vertices on both sides to get some clean topology here. All right, so we have this so far, which is our like basic outline, and I'm going to actually delete a few of these here. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to take this. Oops, I'm going to press E. All right, cool. So we have them coming up to the midline. Now we have this, right? So I'm going to Shift D to duplicate this whole selection, press Y to lock it to the Y, and then I'm going to go to Mesh, Mirror, Y Global. It's going to flip it. I'm going to bring this up, and now we have to reposition all of these pieces, right? And the reason we're doing it like this is because we want to make sure that the other side is correct, because remember, there's a left and there's a right shoe. It's not symmetrical, so we're not going to be using a mirror modifier on most of this. It's going to be a lot of like a little bit more of a complex modeling system on this one, but it will be worth it when you finally see the result, right? All right, so I'm going to kind of hand select each one of these, move it accordingly. And the reason we did it the way that we did is because we want to make sure that we have an even amount of pieces on each side, right? Sometimes you can select two and move them like that. Sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it's not. Like in this case, it probably won't be quicker because now I have to go back and adjust my selection, all right? In this case, it might be quicker. I'm literally lining it up to the wrong part of the shoe because I was looking at the shadow. Okay, try to keep it as spaced out as possible. Don't do what I just did. That was a big mistake. Perfect. Again, you don't have to do it this way, but I find that this works. Cool. Okay, we're almost done here. We're getting closer to the edge here. Now remember, these aren't connected. So if we press A, you'll see there's a gap on this side, which we want. And there's no gap on this side. We're going to pull it, make it a little gap here. And then we're going to highlight both of these, right? Try to get them as close as possible. Highlight both of these, press F to fill. So we're going to fill that gap. We're going to go to this other side here. We're going to fill this gap. and then we're going to press A, and we should be able to grid fill this. So if we go up to face and we press grid fill, you see we have a nice grid fill in there. Everything's nice and even, and now we have the profile of the bottom of our shoe, and it looks pretty good. Now you can see there's a few parts over here that probably could use a little bit of tweaking, so you can kind of just adjust as needed. But remember, we're going to be applying a subdivision modifier to this. So let's go ahead and do that now. So look, we have the base of our shoe. It's looking really good. I'll go ahead and add a subdivision surface. We'll make that 2 levels, give it a quick save, bring this back down here, and we start to have the base of our shoe, which is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Let's give it some solidity. Let's give it a solidify modifier. Let's go ahead and turn back on our reference here, and let's take a look at the sole. So the sole is made up of 3 or 4 parts, but we're probably going to be using like a layered system to actually create these. We're going to kind of fake the look of 3 different pieces with 1 piece. Now, in this case, you can see, if you look very closely, that this follows sort of like a curve, right? It kind of follows like this weird arch. Now, there's a couple different ways that we could go about doing this. Me personally, I'm thinking proportional editing, but since this is like more of an experimental process, what we'll probably end up doing something where we have a curve that follows that basic trajectory, and then we'll probably just use like a curve modifier. So let's try that first. We'll add in a curve, Bezier curve, scale it down. Okay, I'm just gonna rotate it like this. Okay, go to my side view here, scale it down even more. I'm gonna click on my image and lower that opacity so we can really see what we're doing here. Perfect. I'm gonna tab into edit mode, press A, SZ0 to snap everything to the bottom axis there. I'm going to scale these points down. I'm going to start right about here. I'm going to bring this other point in, scale it in. Again, SZ0 if you ever need to flatten those out. And I'm going to start placing points. So I'm going to start right here. And I'm really just looking to follow this curve the best I can. We're going to grab this piece. We're going to extrude it. Scale it up, scale it down a little bit. This piece needs to be scaled up. Okay, we're just kind of following this basic curve. Extrude, move to the next spot, extrude, rotate, try to match these as best as possible. Extrude, scale it down, rotate. Coming up here, might be able to end it right there. And I believe we can. Now, if we look, we have our path, right? This is our path that shoe curve follows. And let's see if we can make this piece right here follow that path. Let's first go ahead and object apply all transforms. Let's go ahead and collapse our modifiers, and let's add in a curve. And let's set it to our curve here. You can see it kind of snaps away a little bit. We're going to try a few different settings here to get it correct. Let's try X because it looked somewhat correct there. Let's also click on our curve. Let's do object apply all transforms. And then, oh, actually, hold on. We're going to do object apply rotation. Now, if we apply the scale, we're going to get some weird results, which is what we just got right there. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our sole. Bring it up on the X. Let's see. All right, that seems to be following it. Let's look to the side here. All right, everything's looking pretty good. So you can see as I move this, it kind of follows the curve. We kind of want to follow the curve right about there. That looks pretty good. That's pretty much the profile that I'm looking for. And of course, you can shade this smooth if you want to, or you can shade it auto smooth, whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and hide the sole for now. Now, yes, there are little details in the sole that we haven't gotten to yet. We're not going to do those quite yet. We'll kind of come back to those later. I want to get this layering process done because, as you can see, there's a whole lot going on here that we're going to have to figure out, right? Now, in terms of what we have right now, if I go up here to curve, I'm going to actually just apply this. Yep. So by applying the curve, we can still maintain the solidify modifier, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want to do. And I actually want to go in here and I want to select my entire edge loop here, right, including these edges over here that we missed. Shift D to duplicate. Okay, so now I have this duplicated. Right click, separate selection. So I decided I am going to separate this. Okay. Now if we tab into edit mode, we have to click on this and tab. If we press A and then E to extrude, now we can extrude this. And now we have our second layer. So let's go ahead and take our second layer. Let's move it down. Okay. And the reason we're getting a weird result is because we have solidify on, so I'll turn that off. Now, with our second layer, you'll notice that it has more of a thickness here and less of a thickness up there. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this down, align it real nice. And then what we'll do is I will use some proportional editing to bring up this back side. So what I'll probably do is tab into edit mode. I'll go into my X-ray mode. I'll select everything here on the top. We're just selecting these top vertices here. Select everything right there. SZ0. Okay. I'll bring these up. GZ. Rotate a little bit here. Perfect. And then what I'll do is I'll enable my proportional editing. I'll click on sphere. I'll bring these up, but I want to make sure it says connected only. I'll go ahead and scroll. Where is my proportional editing here? There we go. So I'll go ahead and scroll, and I'll kind of try to bring these things up as needed. Perfect. And then I'll just align these the best that I possibly can. Perfect. And then for the bottom, we want to bring that down to meet the other side. So now we should have something that looks like this. Perfect. So now we kind of have the basic outline. We have that second sliver, and we're going to duplicate that again to go on the top for that third layer. And now in the third layer, because I have the shoe right here, the third layer is an even thinness all the way around. So I actually think I am going to... This will be an interesting one because I think what I'll do is I'll tab into edit mode. I'll select this top loop again, but this is on the second layer. I'll shift D to duplicate, separate selection. Now I have this selection. I press A, bring it down to align it, right? And this is our third layer, remember? E to extrude on the Z axis. And then I just have to see, okay, how far does this come down? I need to get rid of my proportional editing so I don't mess anything up. And it looks like it comes up to about here. And then what it does is it comes inward. So it kind of cuts inward. So we're going to extrude it inward to get that lip that is on the shoe. There's a lot going on with this shoe, right? So I'm going to press ES to scale. Oops, I'm sorry. ES, there we go. And I'm scaling it inward to kind of get that inner part right there. And then I'm going to SZ to kind of scale it down just a little bit. And now you can see we have this kind of outer lip. Does everybody see that? We have this kind of outer lip that goes all the way around our shoe. I'm also going to press S and X to scale it out a little bit to get a little bit more of a uniform thickness. You can see that it kind of scaled everything in properly. So this is starting to look pretty good for our shoe. I'm pretty happy with it so far. And now I'm seeing that there's yet another layer. But this layer comes up out of this. So I'm going to press EZ. Okay, that's going to come up a little bit. Let's see how much it comes up. GZ, it comes up to about there, and that's it. And now in order to make this a little sharper, we're going to select this inner loop. We're going to go to mean crease, and we're going to crease it all the way down. Press A, shade auto smooth, and now we have a nice bottom section to our shoe. We haven't done the detail work yet, but we will get to that. And I'm starting to feel pretty confident that this is going to look really nice. Another thing we can do is, now that we have this all sorted out, we can narrow in on this, and I want to give this a little bit of thickness. So I'm going to do a solidify, but I'm going to go ahead and reverse the solidify thickness to the inside like this. And then I'm going to give this just the slightest bevel. Just slight. I'm going to do 0.02, maybe something like that. I'll do a few segments here. The reason I'm doing that, well, I'll do 0.002. Why is it not working? There we go. Okay, perfect. So the reason I'm doing that is to give it just the slightest separation. I'll probably do the same with the top and the bottom. This guy needs it too, so we'll go ahead and give it a bevel. And we will come back, I promise, we will come back and do the detail work on this. All right, so I'm adding a bevel. I'm going to go ahead and just check something weird is happening with our topology. Let me just check our... Oh, you know what? Our normals aren't set up properly, I believe. So let me just double check on that. Let's go to face orientation. Why am I not seeing it? Oops. Why can't I see it? Let me undo solidify. Okay, so our faces are facing that way. I think we're good, actually. We might get a weird thing though with our bevel. Our bevel doesn't really seem to want to work. I'll take that small bevel. Not sure why it's not working. Might be because the overlap is clamped. There we go. That works. Perfect. Okay, so if you have clamp overlap, you can disable that. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. So far, so good. There's a small gap. We'll fix that later. But as of right now, we have a pretty solid base to our shoe. I want to see how you make the eyelets and laces. Probably curves. Yeah, most likely we're probably going to use curves for that. Yep. All right, guys, let's continue with our modeling. So now we're going to kind of start to sketch out the basic part of the shoe, right? We kind of have the base. We'll add the detail work later, like the stitching and things like that. But as of right now, excuse me, I'm pretty excited to just kind of start mocking up the shoe itself. Now, one of the first things I'll say is that I do want to make sure I label a few of these things. I'm going to kind of make sure that these are all in the sole section, which they are. This is the bottom sole, so I'm going to say bottom. This is the middle. I'm going to call this, well, middle. And then this is I'm going to call this the ledge. It's going to make more sense later when I go back to it. I'm going to make a new collection. I'm going to call this shoe. I'm just going to call this shoe body. And then I'm going to add a single vert. We always kind of just start with a single vert. It's just kind of what we do. I'm going to place it off to the side out in space here. And I'm probably going to start on the back side of this. I feel like it makes the most sense just because this back side is kind of like the foundational piece, right? It's like, this is like the core of the shoe right here. This is like the start of everything. It's also nice and chunky, so we can build off of it once we have the proper proportions. So I'll probably kind of start right below where our line is here. I'm going to come in here right about there. So I'm kind of right inside this lip right here, right? I'm also going to enable my random colors so you guys can see that I have different elements here. I'm going to go into my X-ray mode, and I'm just going to kind of start to create this piece here. I'm going to go to vert. I'm going to extrude it in edit mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 4 of those right there. So just remember that we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and take these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to duplicate on the X. I'm going to scale it on the X. 0. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and align this probably right about here. Okay. And I'm going to kind of start lining these pieces up. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Cool. So we have that first start of it. Now, we could kind of come up here, right? We could. This is a pretty straight line, so I could probably get away with something like this, right? So now we have our 4. And then up here we have a bunch. So I'm going to highlight all the top vertices. Remember, we're trying to come up with the same amount on all sides, right? It has to be somewhat proportional. SZ0 to scale that down. Scale it, bring it down here. You can rotate it a little bit to try to match it up. And then we're going to match up both of these spots. So we're going to kind of come in here where these two meet. F to fill that gap. I'm going to come up here. This one's going to be a little bit different because, well, you'll see. This one needs to come right here. We'll fix that in a bit. F to fill. And then, oh, it's already filled. Okay, so here we go. Face, grid fill, and it didn't work. Why did we miscalculate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be working. We'll do it manually, I guess. It should be working. Why isn't it working? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should be working. Grid fill. Select 2 edge loops. Okay. Not sure why it's not working. We're gonna start over, and that's okay. I'm gonna save it real quick. We're gonna actually delete. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna delete these. Delete these. I'm gonna do this a little bit differently than I normally do it. I'm gonna take these vertices. I'm gonna extrude them, and I'm actually just gonna make my own mesh, and then we'll clean it up. So I'm doing this because this is the way that I do it sometimes. It's never really failed me. It's one way to do it. So I'm just kind of scaling these up as I go. There we go. And now this is the part where you kind of need to like be careful and pay attention a little bit more, because you don't really want to mess this part up. Extrude. Take this. Perfect. Now remember, there is another dimension to this that we haven't done yet. We will get to. So right now it's going to look kind of funky. It's going to look like that, right? Because we haven't followed the curvature of the shoe. Why not pressing E to extrude? You can. I mean, this is kind of what I did here. So I'm going to add a subdivision to this. Okay. And then I'm also going to go in here, and I think I'm going to add one more loop cut here. Okay. That was Control R, by the way. Now all these bottom vertices here, SZ0. Actually, just SZ, kind of scale them down a little bit. Remember, this is going to go kind of like more or less like kind of behind the boot, if you will. Perfect. Bring these out a little bit. So this is just, remember, we only did this on one side. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to wrap it all the way around the boot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tab into edit mode, start rotating these, right? And then I'm actually just going to probably hand piece these together, right? You could turn on proportional editing. So like you could take this, turn on proportional editing. You could do like something like this, right? But you got to be really careful. Let's get rid of connected only. Yeah, you got to be really careful because you can start to like really distort your mesh. So like if you did it like, you could potentially do it like that, but you have to be like really careful, right? Another thing you can do that I learned is you can add what's called a curve in your loop tools. There's a lot of different ways. Yeah, grid fill. I thought you'd grid fill like the Carbonate. Oh yeah, I mean you can. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's try to, I want to make sure I'm not lining this up improperly here. Let's try to keep it lined up here. Ooh, did I not? This is not scaled properly. That's the dangers of proportional editing too. You gotta be careful. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. And I really should have done this the first time. What I should have done is lined all of these up and then extruded them upwards. So like now I want to show you like this other method because I'm like, I really should have done this. I wasn't thinking. So what we should have done is taken this bottom loop right here. We should have went, got out proportional editing. We should have went like this. Is really what we should have done. And that's my fault. We should have went like that because then we would have had the perfect curve. We would have pressed A. We would also made sure this was not where it should be, right there. Kind of started right about there. Okay, and then what we would do is we would select that, then we would extrude this, right? Start scaling things up, extrude, scale, right? Kind of modify, extrude, etc., etc. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Bring everything in. Alt-click this GG, alt-click, move. Now it should all relatively be following the curve, more or less. So now it's really like following that curve the way that we want it to. And then what we can do is we can come in here and modify as needed. Right, come up here, boom, boom. Kind of come over here. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's starting to look decent. Add another loop cut too. And then another thing we can do is once we start refining this, we can come back to our loop tools. The thing about Blender, and I love it and I hate it, is there's literally like so many ways to do everything that it's like, you're almost like, what is the best way? For me, I don't mind the way I just did this, but I probably, like looking back, I wish I didn't waste so much time doing it the other way. Just my personal opinion. So now I can select this loop. I can go to edit, loop tools. I can go to relax, right? Which is a really, really nice tool. I think we could all just relax a little bit, right? All right, good. All right, that looks decent. I feel like that's more or less kind of what we're looking for there. Let's go ahead and take a look. Much better. And then we can come in here. We can move it out until it's barely touching, and then we can refine from this edge here, right? Much better. Now it's not perfect, but we'll give it some thickness. But now we can build off this and kind of wrap it around, which is really nice. Yep, and that's why we do it. That's exactly why we do it. Now we can select this. So I have this edge loop, and we can go from the top view to keep extruding that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to do this though so I can see it. Perfect. Okay, and we're just going to keep doing that. 1, 2, and I'm just making sure these bottom vertices align well. 3, 4, and we can straighten this up too, and I'll show you how we can flatten that back out. Because like right here, it's going to start to flatten back out. Just got to be careful, because if I really look, this comes up and it doesn't go too much further, right? Because right now we're at about the right height, but it doesn't go too much further than that. So at this point, looking at our top-down view, we can probably duplicate some of this stuff from this side, right? We can kind of come here. Let me make sure I got all that. We can come here. We can duplicate on the Y. We can go to mesh, transform, or mirror, and then we'll just mirror it on the Y global. We'll rotate it, and we'll connect everything, right? The only thing is, just be really careful, because if you do this, you have to flip your normals. So you got to go to mesh, you got to go to normals, flip, and now you should be good to go. And also, another thing, you may or may not have this like lined up the way that you want to. Let me just see. Not terrible. Take these two and move them out just a little bit. It's kind of coming together there. Let's see how lined up that looks. All right, that's good. All right, now we'll go ahead and we'll fill these here. We'll just bridge these edge gaps with F. Or I'm sorry, don't do it like that. You can do highlight the two vertices, F, highlight the two vertices, F. I'm sure there's a quicker way to do it. I'm waiting for the comment. But if you just highlight these two vertices and press F, you can work your way down. And here we go, just like that. And then you highlight, hold on. Then you want to go here, highlight everything, basically everything you just did all over again. And then you'll press F to fill in those spaces. Perfect. Now we have something that looks like this, which is more or less what it looks like in real life. That's pretty close. The back comes up a little bit more. Let me go to my back. Where's my back view here? I think it's this one. Oh, I don't have my back view on here. It's okay, I'll just look at it here. So from this side, the middle comes up a little bit. So I'm going to turn on connected only. Kind of comes up just like that. That looks good. Now, if I'm like, oh, this is too jagged, watch this. I select my loop, relax, and it's nice and relaxed now. Perfect. Shade that smooth. Let's give this a little bit of thickness since it is leather, right? This is starting to look pretty good. Shoes are kind of a pain because there's so many curvatures on the shoe itself. All right, we're going to go ahead and solidify that. Go ahead and a little bit less than that. Something like that's okay for now. We can come back. Maybe we'll do 1.5. All right, that looks good. So now we have the back of our shoe, and I'm pretty pleased with it overall. It's not perfect, but it's about what we're looking for, right? Now the next piece we're going to want to do is the part that wraps around the front, and this part's going to be pretty crucial because everything else is going to stem off of this part. It's going to be this part here, like this part that comes around the front like that. I'll probably break away from this piece here. So I'm going to tab into edit mode, select this top loop, shift D to duplicate, separate, or is it separate selection? And now I have this, And I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here. Instead of ledge, I'm going to call this bottom, I don't know, bottom piece. Call it whatever. Doesn't really matter. But I do want it to line up pretty precisely with that. Because what we're going to do is we're going to tab into edit mode, and we're actually going to extrude this upwards like this and bring it up. Oops. Bring it up until we feel like it's got the correct thickness, and then we're going to refine from there, right? This is going to be kind of like that inner base of the shoe. I'm going to select both of these, scale it in just ever so slightly, and bring it down too, because I want this to have some thickness here, so I'm going to solidify this with a negative 0.001, just a little bit of thickness. All right, and the reason it's cutting through is because it's not going to be perfect when it comes to this, so I'll just bring this back a little bit. And then I'll probably use proportional editing back here because you're not really going to see this part of the shoe, right? So I'm going to go ahead and go to my top-down view. I'm going to select some of this stuff here, go to my proportional editing. I'm just going to bring it in just a little bit here on the X. Something like that. Now we shouldn't be able to see that anymore. Perfect. We can also do the same with the sides too. Since we're not going to see this side, I'll probably go to my top-down view yet again. I'll take these vertices here, and I'll just scoot them in just a little bit. Maybe scoot this guy in a little bit too. Got to be really careful because we don't want anything to overlap too much. We can always correct it later, but we just have to be super, super careful, right? Okay, good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start to refine the front of this because it does kind of curve inward, right? It kind of curves inward and upward. I think we're going to need a loop cut here, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. And then I'm going to take this part here. I'm going to scale it in on the Y. I'm going to get rid of my proportional editing here. Kind of start scaling it in on the Y because it kind of looks like it comes in on the Y a little bit like that. Now, it looks like that a little bit more towards the front, so I'll probably select some of those back edge loops and scale those back out. So I'm going to go into edit mode here. I'm going to take everything like right about here. I'm going to turn on my proportional editing. I'm going to scale this out on the Y just a little bit here. Oops, that was a little too much. Let's do no proportional editing. Scale this out on the Y a little bit more. And then I'm going to take this top loop and relax it. Starting to look pretty good. Now let's kind of refine like where this starts and stops, because obviously on the tip here, it doesn't come out this far, right? In fact, these kind of come in, right? So we got to be really, really careful with how we do this. We need to do it in a way that it's not going to mess up any of the topology. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it in on the X. I'm going to start to bring it in. Here, let's select this whole top edge loop. Let's press GZ, bring it down a little bit. All right. And I think I'm probably just going to place this manually and try my best to match the curve of what happens at the top of this shoe. Let's try to grab all this stuff. Bring it in a little bit. See how that's starting to look. Starting to look a little bit better. I'm kind of just refining as I go. It should be relatively symmetrical on the other side. You can kind of see that the vertices aren't exactly aligned, and that's okay. That's kind of like as expected, because remember, we're dealing with a left or a right shoe. In this case, it's the right shoe. The reason I picked that, I don't know, just like personal preference, but because of that, we have to consider that it's not going to be symmetrical. We're not really ever going to use a symmetry modifier or a mirror modifier. We won't really need that, right? Now, I'm overlapping this on purpose because we're going to have another layer on top of this. You'll see what I mean as we start to do that. All right, we should be pretty good here. Awesome. All right, so we have our general shape right here that we needed, right? And then the next thing I think we're going to do is, there's a lot of ways we could take this here. Let me just look at the front, see how this is looking. It's a little flatter. A little flatter at the front. No, actually looks pretty good. We do need to bring this forward just a little bit to line up. So let's go ahead and let's select these edge loops here. Let's bring them forward. Let's do proportional editing. Perfect. Well, close to perfect. So we're starting to get somewhere here, right? We have our boot starting to kind of come together, and I feel like our next step is probably going to be this piece here, whatever that piece is called. Now remember, we're going to have to do this for each side, kind of manually, because the shoe has a tendency to kind of like curve one way or the other, right? If you look at the bottom, it's not symmetrical, which sucks because we love our mirror modifier, but we're not going to be using it in this case. Hi, Kenny. Good to see you again. Hey, thank you. Why only part of the shoe and not the whole shoe? What do you mean? Well, I mean, we're doing each part individually. It'll make more sense as we start to add our like details later. So here's what we're going to do next. Let me see here. Let me really think this through before I do this. I am going to build, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate this bottom sole, okay? Kind of scale it in a little bit here. And we're going to create from this the tongue of the shoe, which is kind of like all like one big old piece, right? So let's go ahead and get rid of our solidify. Or actually, let's do really, really thin, okay? I'm going to bring this down. Okay, this is going to sit at the front of the shoe, which it already does. Perfect. This will kind of line up with the top here a little bit. I'm going to go into my edit mode, SZ0, to flatten that. I'm going to add a loop cut in the middle. I'm going to bring that up with proportional editing. Perfect. I'm going to press A, bring it down. We're going to scale it in on the sides. SY to scale. Okay, and this is going to be kind of like the top part of our shoe that's going to go up, right? It's going to kind of like follow a curvature to the shoe. There's a couple ways we can do this. There's a lot of ways we can do this. But before we do that, let me refine this edge a little bit. I'm going to go into my proportional editing yet again. I'm just going to kind of drag a few of these edges out here. Make sure they're kind of like barely touching the edge here. Okay. Looks pretty good. Good, good. So this part we don't really want to touch too much. We kind of want it to like more or less line up with the front, right? Now it does have that bow to it and then it curves up. So let's see where it starts to curve up. It starts to curve up right about here. So I'm just going to add a cube there so I can see. I'm going to scale my cube way down. It kind of starts to curve up here. In fact, it kind of follows a line that looks like that. Perfect. Let me just do this real quick to make it easier for me here. Yeah, perfect. All right, it kind of follows that sort of line. All right, that looks good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our main sole, and we're going to have to possibly do this manually. Let me go into my edit mode here. Let me scale most of this stuff down here. Let me rotate it, bring it up, start positioning it. We'll see what this looks like so far. Hold on. I missed a few pieces there. There we go. All right. SZ0. Rotate. It's going to look really distorted at first, but we're going to fix it. Okay, let's go ahead and rotate that. Try to get it somewhat aligned. That looks pretty good. Now, in terms of the actual lines themselves, you can go here to the edge. We'll go to our edge loop here. I really only want everything that's not this. I want everything that's not that. SY0. Okay, we're going to scale it because we're going to end up having to modify it later. Go to this edge loop. Hold Control to select the things you don't want. Oops. To try that again. Hold Control. SY0. GY to bring it back out. Looks like I accidentally grabbed an edge that I didn't want. SY0, GY. Perfect. So we kind of have something that looks like this. I know, looks a little weird, but we're going to fix it, I promise. I'm going to select all of these faces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring it over. SY. Cool. So now we have something that looks kind of like this. Looks a little strange. All right, but this is good because now we can start to like use our proportional editing to push this inwards, right? Yep, this is exactly what I wanted. Perfect. So now what we can do is we can like select one of these loops, right? And then with proportional editing, if we push this inwards and we use our proportional editing, we can start to like curve this the way that we want it, which is exactly what I want to do. I love proportional editing. That looks good. And then this part up here will actually kind of come up more. But because we're in a weird proportional editing style, we need to switch it to sharp. There's also inverse square. Kind of curve that up more, right? Kind of like this. Right, so now we have something that looks kind of like that, right? I'm also going to select these loops and relax them. And then I'm going to space everything out as well. I'm going to select this. I'm going to click on space. Actually, hold on. This should be relaxed. There we go. We have some weird geometry going on down here, but this actually doesn't look too bad. And then coming up on the top here, this kind of curves around at the top. So we're going to need probably a couple more loop cuts here. Okay. And what we're probably going to end up doing is we're going to kind of curve this around. It kind of bows out. So like if we took the middle, so are these the middle two? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, these are the middle two. If we took these and probably scaled these along the Z, or the Y, I'm sorry, like that, these would probably come up to give us that bowed shape, right? Yep, you can, exactly, you can do that. There's so many ways to do this. There's so many ways to do this. There really is. I also need to make sure my height looks good. It does. So if I had my proportional editing enabled here, let's just see what smooth looks like. Just want to see. So we're really going to end up doing something like this to give us that curvature, but I only really need it towards the top here. So I'm going to go to my side view. I'm going to select probably something like that. And then let's just see what this gives us here. Why is it being weird? There we go. Ooh, why does this look so strange? Do I need more? Yeah, let's do this. Let's select, actually, I have a better idea. We're going to select only the sides we want. These sides. We're going to bring them back on the X like this. I'm going to move this out. Okay, and I'm going to click on this. And here's what I'm going to do. This is a cool example of what relax does. Ready? We go up here, we take a few of these, bring them back a little bit on the Y. Sorry, the X. There we go. Bring these back on the X. And then if we select this top, loop and we click relax, kind of curves it out, right? So we can kind of get this almost this staggered look, right? Gotta bring these back too. So it starts to kind of bow out. We just have to be really careful because if we don't do it for all of them, then it'll look very strange. Why are these looking so weird? There we go. And it starts to kind of curve around. We'll come back to that. It's not looking too bad though. I'm not too displeased with it, but I'm not entirely 100% on it. Looks good. All right, let's go to the next step. Our natural next step is going to be the side, which is going to be like this part right here. So again, same concept here. We're really just going to be, let's see, we're probably just going to be using, I don't know, a single vert yet again. This cube was just a reference. All right, let's go into our shoe body, single vert. Let's go ahead and move that to where we want it. In this case, it's going to be right about here. And I think I'll just start it. I'll probably start it right here. Keep it simple. This part's not going to be too crazy. At least I can't imagine. But let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's keep it simple. Let's extrude. We'll keep this process exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll take our edges here. 1, 2, 3. We'll extrude those. 1, 2, 3. Extrude and scale. extrude, and scale. And we'll make them a little bit bigger than they need to be. Extrude, scale, extrude, and scale. Kind of a weird topology, but we'll figure it out. All right, I'm going to grab this edge loop here. I'm going to relax it a little bit. Now, in this case, actually, I don't want to relax it. I'm sorry. Because this part will overlap everything else, and then it gets underlapped up here. So this part gets, I guess, quote unquote, underlapped by, or sorry, overlapped by another thing, but it underlaps another piece. So yeah, just to make things even simpler. Rotate this a little bit. That looks pretty good there. You know what's funny? I just realized this is not a separate piece. The stitching makes it look like a separate piece. So we are going to do this. We're going to do, oh, that's crazy. It's not a separate piece. I'm sorry. It's all one piece. Didn't realize that. Wow, that's going to be a zinger. That is going to be a zinger. Bring it all the way up. We'll take these three here. We'll extrude, rotate, extrude, extrude, scale, extrude, and scale. Kind of a weird geometry, but we'll try to work with it. And I think we can. It's really, a lot of this stuff is a matter of like trying your absolute best to make everything look half decent. All right, so we kind of have our basic geometry there. This underlaps another piece, so we're good. This will underlap that piece. So yeah, so let's see what this looks like with a subdivision surface. Perfect. And then we're going to have to do the same thing we did before, which is kind of like start curving this inward towards the other side. So I think what I'll do is I'll grab this edge loop here, start to bring it inwards on the Y. Okay. Grab this edge loop, GY. Perfect. Not perfect. Hold on. Oh my God. Why did I do this again? I should have done it from the original curvature. Although this part, I'm looking at it in front of me and it kind of curves out in a weird way. Time to rip the shoe off to see the pieces. I know. Well, that's the other funny thing. If I really wanted to, I'm sure I could. I'd have to get some scissors, rip this thing apart. But at the end of the day, I'm probably not going to do that. This is a weird... Why did I don't really need that there, do I? Like that. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. Just for the sake of my own sanity here. There we go. So I don't actually drive myself insane. There we go. Okay, and then that piece overlaps, so it'll be more like that. Relax. Perfect. GG. And when I say GG, I literally mean I'm clicking GG. Like, I'm not saying good game. Like, I'm clicking GG. That tucks behind there. This tucks behind here. So this geometry doesn't matter as much there. Okay, good. And then really we just need to start curving this thing inward, which is going to be one of the hardest parts. But you know what, I had a thought, because we did this earlier, right? We added that curve. Let's add it. I'm just curious. If we add a curve, we scale it, top-down view, right? Just rotate it a little bit. Scale it even more. What if we just kind of like do this? Press A, SY0 to scale it even more, rotate, right? And then we just take this, we kind of follow the general curvature of the shoe, kind of like what we did last time, but this one's gonna be a little bit different. E to extrude, same old bit. Rotate with R, scale it, rotate. That's kind of like the general way that it curves, like that. I wonder if we did that, if this would follow it well. Let's try it. Curve. We'll do this curve here. Pretty much does. Let's see how well it does. It's actually not that bad. Am I still following this? Yeah, I am. Just kind of have to line it back up. It's actually not doing a terrible job. Why is this not perfect, though? There we go. That's better. -0.001 for solidity. Okay, cool. That's starting to look like something there. Now ignore the top part, obviously. So what I would probably do here, now that I have like the general curvature, is I would probably apply it and then weave this over through the other side. Refine, and define the curve path. Oh, I'm sorry, I read your comment wrong. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and apply this. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but close. All right, good. Let's go ahead and take this. What the heck? Oh, I only wanted these three, buddy. There we go. Hey, what just happened here? Oh, I do not have the geometry that I thought I had. Let me go ahead and add a loop cut here. Jesus. This is not the geometry that I'd like to see for this. Where's my curve? Did I delete it? I deleted it, didn't I? It's okay, I can add a second one. This is starting to look like kind of like what I want, though. I'm actually like quite pleased with this. Just thinking, I'm thinking this through. Hold on, I'm trying to think this through before I like go too far ahead. All right, let's try this. Let's take these. Now I just want to take 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. I want to extrude this. Let me look at the back of the shoe. Okay. So here's where it gets cool, right? You take this top loop, relax, 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 and relax, relax. Love it, dude. Love it. Such a great tool. Okay, so now what I'm thinking is I'll take this part. I'm just going to go into my focus, as they call it, focus mode, I think is what they call it. Take this, take some of this stuff here. I need this, I need that. I need this face, and I need these faces here. I'm going to duplicate it, right? Y. I'm going to go mesh, I'm going to do mirror Y global, and then I'm going to do mesh normals flip, GY. Okay. Get out of my focus mode here. GY to bring it in, and let's just see how it lines up so far. It actually doesn't line up too bad. Not too bad, actually. And I think we'll probably take this here. Let's see. Let's see how this does. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Okay, I'm not entirely like displeased with that. Now what I need to do is I need to, let's see, I need to delete some stuff here. Let's delete these faces. Need to kind of somehow piece this all together now. How did I get into this mess? You're probably wondering how I got here. Come on, give me that loop, dude. Give me the loop. There we go. Okay, good. So now I'm going to take this loop, bring it here. Just do it smooth. Yeah, we'll do proportional editing on this. That actually worked really nice. I'll take it. I'll take the win. All right, I'll do that, and then I'll take this. I'm kind of just trying to piece things together here. I feel like that doesn't look too bad for the other side. And now I just need to link these together somehow, which is going to be a nightmare. All right, so we have I guess I could I could do it like in a cheap way, but I feel like that's not like standard practice. That's not like good practice to do that. Oh my god, get out of this mode, bro. There we go. All right, I want to go into this mode. I want to see what I have here. Why is there 2 vertices here? That's weird. Why do I have... Now that is weird. How did I get rid of these vertices for right now? Better. So 1, 2. We might just have to merge some stuff as much as I don't want to do it. Did I flip the normals? I think I did. You know what's weird is that I hate when you can't see like a vertice. It kind of drives me crazy. All right, that's what we want. And then we need to just bring this stuff down. There we go. I'm not sure why I didn't do that the first time. Guys, what was I thinking? I'm tempted to merge them. I really don't want to, but I feel like part of me is like, do I just do it? Okay. I could just go ahead and do like a little fancy thing like this, you know what I mean? Just a little bit of like something like that, but we don't like tries. Let's go ahead and go to face orientation. Get rid of that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, is that technically a quad? We're getting some really weird artifacts here, though. Oh, there's another one. I feel like I can kind of get away with that, and we'll just pretend like we don't know it's even there. What do you think? I like it. Oh, man, redefine. Oh, brain is not braining. My screencast is too small to see. Got you guys. Hold up. Where is that? How's that better? Let's test it. Let's move this around. Better? I save a lot. You'll probably notice that. All right, good. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at here. We're looking good. We got this top piece going here for us. All right, I just want to see. I want to take these 2 here, and I want to increase the crease. I really want to take this and this crease. Yeah, because ultimately those are going to end up being like sharp. Now, for this part here, I feel like I need to really take this loop, all these loops, and I need to smooth them out. So let's go to edit, relax, bro. What do you guys think? Relax? Cool. And then I need to obviously refine these a little bit, which we're going to do now. I'm noticing that these need to be scaled a little bit as well. Hold on. I'm going to do it a little bit differently because let me grab these. Right? And then let me take this, scale it more on the Z. Perfect. Give us a little bit more of a wide base there. Okay, and then let me take these. Someone calling me? Oh, no, I can't answer that. You relax that. Relax. Starting to look a lot better now. What do you guys think? I feel a lot better about that. There's some weird geometry going on here. Let's relax that. I'll tell you what, the relax tool is clutch. Okay. All right. We got a lot of our pieces done. How long have we been live streaming? Let me check. We've been live streaming for about an hour. Perfect. We actually got a lot done in an hour. All right. Let's keep going. And then, yes, I do realize that there's like obviously a piece up here that we still need. And yes, the tongue of our piece does go up more like this. Cool. Oh, this is going to look so sick. All right, this is going to be the hardest piece because I tried to do this on the last show and it was an absolute PIA, if you know what I'm saying. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give me patience because that's what I'm going to need for this next part. Why is the solidify modifier not working? There we go. Okay. I'm super happy with how far we got on this though. Okay. I'll tell you what, let's do this part first because that's going to be really quick and simple, and that's literally just going to be 2 Tauruses. Like I'm already looking at this and I'm like, that's Taurus, right? Like mesh, right? Taurus. Scale it down a bunch. Scale it. Move it over here. Scale it. Move it. Scale it. Move it up, right? Now, in terms of like the actual practicality of it, we're going to need to cut part of it off, right? Like it's going to be like part of this is going to get cut in half, right? Probably here on. So yeah, let's unrotate it. Let's cut part of it off. I guess this part here, like I'm trying to think of the best way to do this cleanly. Let me think about this. Guess we could do it like that. No, I don't want that loop. I think maybe I will do it like this. I think I could probably just select the loops and then like dissolve them. I don't know. Let me think about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do a Boolean. That's another way, but I part of me feels like this is the better bet. Yep. I like it. And then we'll just delete all these little edges. Dissolve edges. Delete the edges. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's one way to do it. Probably not the best way to do it, but it's fine. All right, rotate that, scale it up. Now, this is probably going to have to be flattened as well. So what I'll probably end up doing is like trying to proportionally scale this. Like if I take this, like I can scale all these in. Like I'll probably do like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and like scaled it on the X, kind of like that. I need this one too. And I need this one. Yeah, like something like that. Although I guess I kind of need the whole thing. That actually is better. And then I'll extrude the parts that I need. Perfect. Oh, and then I'll probably do a mirror modifier to have it come back. So I'll add in an empty. Just hear me out, guys. There's a process to this. All right, don't go freaking out. Don't go freaking out. I'm going to have it mirror on top of this empty here. All right, like right here. So I'll do a mirror. Well, this is the only time we're going to do a mirror. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll probably end up, well, I guess I'll mirror it on the Y as well and then cut it in half because we don't really need the other half. So let me delete all the faces here. Oh, we can't use, oh my God, we can't use a mirror. Oh my God. We can't, I'm sorry. We can't use a mirror because it's not symmetrical. Like it's kind of symmetrical. Do we just try it? I don't know. I'm tempted to say yes. I'm tempted to say yes. Let me just see. It's going to be something like that. Ugh, I don't love it. And that's probably just because it doesn't have the materials. But I mean, that's more or less like the rough shape. Let's take this and scale it on the Y, because it kind of starts to thin out there. Why can't I not see this? There we go. There we go. Then I want to take this. I want it to be... It's going to be a PIA part of this. You know what? I don't know that I can mirror it on the other side. I feel like it's going to get... I feel like it's going to get weird, and it's not going to follow the curvature that I want. Although I could now come here and do a curve, but that's a whole nother thing. Looking a bit cyberpunky. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I forgot. A subdivision surface. It does kind of look cyberpunky. Well, I will admit, though, this shoe is pretty cool. This is my actual, this is actually, like, my shoe. That I don't wear it that much, but I might start wearing it more, because it actually is, it's a pretty nice shoe, for the most part. All right, there we go. All right, we might have to come back to some of this, but let me see how this is looking. I mean, I know it looks kind of silly, but, like, I can't think of how else I would... I mean, I can't really imagine how else I would model it. We're going to have to go into X-ray mode again. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to proportional editing. Why is it so distorted over here? What happened over here? What? What happened? Hold on. Let me... Oh, you know what? I'm not using my relax tools. There we go. Relax. Much better. That loop cut here. Let's grab these. I kind of want everything to, like, kind of come inward here, because it... Oh, this is just looking... I don't... Oh my god, this part's gonna irritate me. It kind of comes inward and actually comes kind of past this point here. Let's do this. Let's turn off proportional editing, get it kind of slightly precise. Relax these loops. I wish I could relax all the loops at once. That would be nice. I haven't found a way to do that. If you guys know a way to do that, let me know, because I will gladly do that. Okay. See how that's looking. Oof. Better. Better. Closer to what I was, like, kind of looking for, although... Oh my god. This is awful. Actually, it's kind of close. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. What do you guys think? Be honest. Feel free to tell me I'm awful. I don't really know how else to model this part. God, I hate this part of the shoe. I didn't think I was going to hate this part of the shoe. Night Cobbler? Wait, what? Oh, you're saying goodnight to someone else. He said this is addicting to watch and I have to sleep. All right, without further ado, let's do the part that I have been absolutely dreading. Okay. I think we're gonna come back to this, but although when I look at it, it does have some like variation to it. So maybe like the imperfections is like part of what makes it interesting. I don't know. I could have probably used the curve for this. Regardless, it's time to do what I need to do here. Also, this part here, I think I'm gonna extrude it inwards to kind of give us some room to play here. Like that. Yep. So we kind of have some room to play here. Same on this side. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hey, can I call you back? I'm on a live stream.
Yeah, just making sure you're okay.
Right, oh, bye. Yeah. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. All right.
All right, bye.
All right, love you too. Bye. He didn't actually say I love you, but that's okay. All right. He did. He does. He loves my dad. He loves me. Okay. I think he loves me. God, I hope so. That'd be kind of awkward. I actually don't love you, son. Okay, here we go. Anyway, ADHD, getting distracted. Okay, so we have that. Now what we're going to need to do... I actually have an idea. I think I know how I'm going to do this. God, there's so many ways I could do this. This part's tough. Actually, no, this part's not going to be as tough as I think it is. You know what? Let's just go for it. I'm just need to stop blabbing and just do it. All right, single vert. We'll start with a single vert. As always, we'll drag it out here. Start here. Let's go to our X-ray mode. I'm just going to... Guys, I'm just going to go for it. Where's our vert? Where's my single vert? There it is. Tab into edit mode. E. Bro. E to extrude. Why isn't it letting me extrude? Single vert. Bro. All right, for some reason it's not letting me do it, so I'm just going to add a plane since it wants to be weird. All right, I'll add a plane. I'll start with that. Fine. Scale it up. All right, we're going to kind of start with something like this. And I'm just going to straight up kind of start piecing things together. We're probably just going to do the same thing we always do, extrude, extrude, extrude. And then just, you know, I don't know why it wasn't letting me. I've had this happen multiple times where I add a single vert and it just does not work, right? Okay, anyway. Extrude, scale, extrude, scale just a little bit. Extrude, scale, extrude, scale. Be really careful. Extrude, scale. Now at this point, I actually kind of don't want to move this too much. I want this to be a majority of the next part of it. So like I want it to be like this, right? This, probably like that, right? I probably want to end up like that so that I can extrude that off as like another quad. I'm trying to keep like keep my topology good. I know that's like it's like frowned upon to not do so. So I'm going to be trying to do this the best that I can do it. Okay. And I'm already doing a horrible job. Hold on. I will end up relaxing these loops. Okay, here we go. All right, so I kind of have the basics of it. Let's give this a subdiv to see how it's looking and some thickness. And then we're going to have to kind of like sort of match it up with where it's supposed to be, right? Let's give it a subdiv. Let's give it a solidify. I swear I typed it in. I swear I did. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring it over here. All right, kind of starts here. What was I about to do? Oh yeah, I promised you guys I would relax these. Relax and relax. It's a little bit better. Let's space these out. Maybe not like that. Let's space out just this part here. It's a little bit better. Ugh. All right, I'm not going to sit here and do that. I mean, I could sit here and do that, but like, am I really going to try to make this like as perfect as possible? Well, you have to, because it's Blender. All right, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to have to make it look like it's part of this, like it's kind of like attached to that. So how do we do that? Well, we are going to first, we're going to want to cry. Or what we could do is the same thing we did before. Make a curve, kind of follow that general profile. Let's try it. Wait, what is this? Oh, it's a curve. We can use this curve. Woohoo! Actually, is that curve already lined up? Yeah, but we want it to line up like this. We want it to like kind of follow this. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's take this point here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hide everything that I don't need for a minute. I really just want it to follow this part here as closely as possible. Okay. Okay. All right. I got to focus here. Let me focus on the curve first, since I'm not doing a very good job. There we go. There we go. Much better. Sweet. So it's really supposed to just follow like that curvature there, more or less. Kind of want to bring it up here. It's really supposed to follow like that general line. And I feel like it will. Let's see. See how well it does. I'm a little bit nervous to see how this works out. Let's try it and see what happens. And since I didn't name anything, I have no idea which piece it is. Oh, it's this piece. Side flap, whatever we want to call it. Okay, and let's go ahead and give it a curve modifier. Now, you could use a lattice for this as well, I guess. Let's just see how this works. Is it working? Can't tell if it's working. Something's happening here. Oh, you know what? Object apply all transforms. Let's get rid of solidify for a minute. Let's do X. There we go. Now it's following our shape a little bit. Whoa. This isn't going to work. Guys, I changed my mind. Changed my mind. We're not going to do that approach. We are not going to do that approach, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do a more manual approach. All right, so what we're going to do instead is we're going to unfortunately have to suffer the consequences of deciding to model a shoe today. Let me scale this out a little bit. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, perfect. So we have our like general sole shape. We have this piece that comes up and then that curves upwards. So this is going to be interesting. I might struggle a little bit with this, but we're going to try our best here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and I do need my solidify. This is just so I can see what in the heck is going on. All right, so this is going to start like that, right? It's going to kind of start on the surface here. It's going to kind of be on top of everything else. Just like that. Yep. Now, the reason this looks so bad is because, well, it is that bad. We're going to fix it, though. We're going to try to, at least. All right, we're going to take all this. We are going to rotate it. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. RZ. Now, we want to rotate it. How can I define what I want to do here? Actually, this is silly. I'll just take this. This side here. I'm only taking these edge pieces, and I'm just going to move them. Hopefully, once we're done, we can just duplicate this over to the other side. Is my hope is that's what we'll do. Although, hold on, let me think this through. Yeah, okay. It's going to start to be it. Really, it's just all these things need to get rotated like a similar way. You know what? I'm wondering if I do this, if I can relax it later, and it'll just automatically correct itself. Nightmares is what we all come to see. Is it really? This is what you guys like? You like the mistakes? I feel like most people expect like it has to be like the perfect tutorial, which is so funny because I guess it's not the case, which is nice. I mean, it's nice for a change, but at the end of the day, I think I was under the impression that most people are looking for like that perfect tutorial, but I guess not. What do you guys? I mean, like, be honest. Like, what do you guys think? I'm just curious. That was really what I was trying to do there. There we go. Oh, also, this is actually a great time to mention this. Hold on. All right, one thing I did want to mention, guys, because we're going to continue to do these types of live streams, is we are going to try something new at CG Cookie. I just want to quickly shout it out. For those of you who aren't members, we're going to have you guys join. We would love for you to join as a member on YouTube. I think it's, what is it, $4 a month, which is basically nothing, right? That's like a cup of Starbucks a month. And in order to continue to support our live streams, we're hoping that some of our members will sign up. We're going to have probably a bi-weekly live stream, either Tuesdays and Thursdays or Wednesdays and Fridays, whatever it ends up being. It'll primarily be me and some other content creators. And we're going to have series kind of like this, where you guys are going to be able to join, and we'll have some exclusive membership benefits, as well as these types of live streams where we go into heavy detail here. So that is something I wanted to mention to you guys. So if you haven't already, please consider joining and subscribing to the channel, of course, but also joining as a monthly member. You get what's called like a backstage pass. So our future live streams where we go into heavy detail like this, you'll be able to access those as well. This is just something we're experimenting with. Nothing set in stone, but I just wanted to shout this out to you guys. Most likely our next live stream will be primarily for members only, but there will also be other future live streams just like this one where it's just free to access. But I wanted to shout this out to you guys because it's something we're looking into experimenting with. So just wanted to quickly give you guys a heads up about that. All right, so now you're saying now we get to see how you try to think and copy that poorly. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is not, this is not my finest work here, but that's okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. I'm going to go to relax. There we go. Average that out a little bit. Relax, relax. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but kind of close to it. Okay, and then I think I'm going to do this. SY. All right, let's get this a little bit closer to the surface here. And let's give this some thickness. Let's also take these points, go to our proportional editing. God, why is this so difficult for me? Am I stupid? That's a little bit better of an approach. I like that. Come on, bro. All right, that's starting to get somewhere that I like it. Problem solving skill. Yeah. I know. It's one of those things. It's like, is this gonna work? And if it does, am I gonna look like an absolute fool? All right, now here's the question. Is this gonna look anything like that side when we go to our side view? Oof. Kind of. Not terrible. And we can sharpen up some of these corners. So what I want to do now is I want to do solidify. Give it some thickness. Not that much thickness. There we go. Something like that. At the end of the day, we could, this is a scary thing. We could try to shrink wrap, but I've never had good results with that. I don't know if you guys have. I've never had like crazy good results with that. All right, let's relax these. Let's relax this guy. Much better. Okay, now this isn't perfect, but I will say I'm pretty happy with it. And I think in order to make this work now, we're going to duplicate this. We're going to go to face, or we're going to go to mesh. No, I'm sorry. Mirror. And then we'll do Y global, and then we'll do mesh normals, flip. We'll go to the top-down view. GY, start bringing this in, rotate it, give it a little bit of rotation, see what we're working with here. I actually don't think this came out too bad. Now we're going to go ahead and grab one of these faces. Perfect. Not perfect, but I'm pretty pleased with that. Now what we would do is we would come up here to the top, right? Extrude it one more time up here. And now we have this nice sharp edge to work with here. And then let's see. I do think these 2 points right here kind of come down a little bit. Oopsies. Come down a little bit like that. They kind of angle inwards. And they also kind of have like a slight bevel like that. Yep. Nice. Perfect. Also, the shortcut I'm using is GG, which slides anything, like it slides a loop cut or it slides a vertice. Okay. I feel like we got the basic shape of the shoe. The reason it might look a little weird also is because there's no laces, right? We don't have any laces on this yet, so yeah. Yeah. I will say that the most difficult parts of the shoes are not really what you'd always expect, right? But let's just take a look at our topology here, because I'm kind of proud of myself. I've come a long way with mesh modeling, and you know what? I feel like I'm getting better. Like, I don't think this is perfect, but I'm much more proud of myself than I have been in the past. All right, there's a couple more details I'd like to add. There is a, let's see if I can find it on here. There's a little flap at the back. Do I have the reference? Man, why are none of my reference photos showing up? I took a close-up of it. Anyway, it's this flap back here, this little, like, I don't even know what you would call it, but let's just make it out of, we'd probably just make it out of a, just a plane or something like that. So let's go ahead and, I'm going to make a details folder here, or a collection called details. How we doing? What time is it? How long have we been live streaming? Okay, we have about 30 minutes left. All right, details, plane, scale it down. GX, scale, scale, scale. Scale, 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 scale. Bring it up here. Rotate. Lock it. Scale. Roughly center it. it'll be about here, and in fact, that's actually really close to the actual size. Let's just go ahead and take this top face. Let's get rid of our proportional editing. Okay, and then it kind of comes around here. And it comes back around. Like that. And then we'll just give it some solidity. Solidify. Give it a subdiv. Kind of starts under here. And then all of this stuff kind of works its way outside. There we go. I want this to be inverse square. I want it to be kind of like that. Bro. Sorry, I think I didn't think this part through very much. How's this looking? It's kind of what I'm. It's weird. It's like a tat. Oh, you know what? It's because these are pushed forward more. Whoopsies. All right, so it's kind of like pushed back like this, and then you take all this, and you push it back like this. It's kind of like that. This is a PIA. How much does it come up? It actually does come up a fair amount. Okay, good. All right. It's kind of like more or less what it looks like, except for you could, so like, this is another example of the loop tool. You could go here and click relax. You could go here and click relax. Oh, what the heck just happened? Wait. Relax and... Bro, why is Ah, there we go. Oh, that's clean. That is clean. Now, this part here at the end, though, this little loop here, this actually does get, like, I don't know how to explain this. It gets woven back in. So we're going to flatten it a little bit. We're going to grab these. Kind of like gets woven back into itself right there. Bro, why can I not see the hidden thing? There it is. I was going to say I couldn't see this hidden piece here. All right, I'm focused way too much on those details. All right, that looks fine. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's leave it alone because I'm going to go insane with that stupid thing. Ironically, I'm going to be duplicating that because there's another piece. You can't see it. Oh my god, I was lining everything up with the wrong side. That's fine. There's this button here. We're going to be adding this button. That's not another... he said what's bad about it. That's the other piece that we need. It's like just a little detail. So I'm going to duplicate this like this. RZ90. I'm going to go ahead and place it where it belongs, which is right about here-ish. I'll be honest, I don't know if I have this rotated correctly. I feel like that's kind of close to it. I need to delete. I really only need the bottom pieces. 1, 2, 3. I don't even need that piece. Actually, I just need to delete 1, 2, 3, 4 faces. Okay, just kind of sits like right there. I'm trying my best to like get the detail correct. Yeah, it kind of sits like that. Oh, crap. Set origin to geometry. Perfect. All right. So that sits there. Perfect. It does have a slightly bigger bevel, like towards the bottom. So I'm going to bring, if I can, see where this loop cut is. On this side, this loop cut here. Oh my God, I can't even see it. Yeah, this loop cut right there. I'm going to slide this up so that the bevel is more perfect. And then I'm going to bring this out, rotate it, and then I'm going to turn my solidify back on. Oopsies. And there we go. Okay, so we have that little piece there, which I spent way too much time modeling. I'm also going to add to it. I'm going to add... Oh, excuse me. I could add a cylinder. You hate it? You hate it. I wonder, does it create too much Z fighting to use a magnet to attach those pieces? What do you mean by magnet? All right. Anyway, this is going to be the... I'm going to call this the rear... I don't know. Detail. Side. Detail. Okay. I'm going to add in a... I don't know, just like a sphere. Sorry, not a sphere. I want to add in a mesh UV sphere. Scale it down. Tab into edit mode, go to X-ray mode, delete half of it. That's going to be our like button shape over there. RX90 to scale, rotate it, bring it down, scale it, front view, size it up properly. I feel like that's pretty good, more or less. Shade it smooth, bring it together into this piece here, rotate it to match the rotation, more or less. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you really wanted to go into detail, you could come in here and make like a hole for it. Like you could like, there's like a slight press in where this happens, but I probably won't do that because I feel like pretty confident that this already looks pretty cool. All right. So for our next details, we're kind of avoiding the laces for now. Those are like a hefty detail. Where do we go to? 140. Okay, so about an hour 40. Okay, so we got 20 minutes left. Let's create the buttons for the holes. This should be pretty simple too. I actually think I can just do this out of a cylinder. So I'm going to actually make a whole new collection called laces because the laces are going to be pretty intense. We're going to add a cylinder. We don't really need anything crazy for this cylinder. In fact, I think I'm going to dumb it down to like something like that. Scale it way down. And then in order to match everything up, let's go to our references. Let's see. Perfect. I have a reference right here. I just need to match up the sizing. So let's do that now. Do I have a different angle for this? Just want to hide this real quick. Scale this down. Trying to scale it down to the point where it's like about the right size. I feel like that's pretty darn close. Let's go ahead and unhide the part we just hid. Perfect. And now how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Let's go ahead and tab into edit mode. Let's scale this down. And then we're just going to punch right through it. So we're just going to go ahead and do a little inset on both sides. Let's go ahead and see. I'm looking at it in real life so I can see. I to inset. That looks about right. Delete the faces. Select the edge loops. And we're going to go to edge, bridge edge loops. Oops, I didn't have another edge loop selected. Edge, bridge, edge loops. There we go. Something simple like that. Subdiv. And then we can add a crease along these two sides. Give it something there, a little bit of crease. We'll give it 0.8 on the outside, and on the inside, we'll give it, 0.4. Shade it smooth, scale it. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna actually reduce the mean crease to 2.2, and I'm gonna do this 0.5. Why is the crease not like working? There we go. Okay, cool. So we have our like button hole, if you will. I feel like it looks pretty good for the most part. Enabling the snap to vertex. You said you hate it? 20. Oh man, I wish you liked it. I'm sorry you don't like it. I'm sorry, man. All right, so we're gonna probably do like, I don't know if we'll do like instancing. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna see. I'm just curious if we did a shrink wrap. I'm curious what it would do. I didn't think it would look good. Okay. All right. You know what? We're just gonna manually like place these on the surface. This is there's probably a better way to do this. In fact, I can almost guarantee it. But this is how we're gonna do it. All right. And we need 7 of these. So I am going to Alt D to duplicate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I have 7 of them, and I just need to place them where they belong, which is on this surface here. And I'm going to try to place them the best of my abilities. Again, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to just do the best that I can. Wait, did I miscalculate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I accidentally made an extra one. That's okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring these in. And yes, I'm sure there is a way to do this quicker. There's probably a snap to surface function, right? I don't know. Not 100% sure. That's fine by me. I'm just going to be manually placing these. I know. You're probably thinking, wait a second, Kenny. There's an easier way to do this. This is fine. I'm fine with doing it this way. I don't know. I actually kind of like doing it this way more. I'm having fun doing it. Like I'm not having like a bad time. There we go. Oof, oof. Oh God, they're not spaced well at all. All right, is that better? Are they spaced somewhat evenly? I do feel like they're not. Maybe I just didn't space them very evenly. It's not terrible. They look like Fruit Loops. Considering all the time constraints, it's all right so far. Face rotation, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me take all these. 1, 2. I wonder if I just duplicate these and flip mirror them, if they'll be pretty close on the other side. Let's do object mirror Y global. GY. GY. Not bad. Okay. Hey, you know what? I'll take a somewhat of a win. That's fine. That's fine. GY. So another thing we're going to do is we are going to use a Boolean to cut through this. Because you know what? Let's make it, I guess, as realistic as we can. Okay. And then, yeah, we're obviously going to get to like the stitching and stuff like that later. Let's use a Boolean to cut through these, shall we? We could do it manually, but I just feel like Boolean's probably going to be the way to go. Let's do a cylinder, scale it down, scale, 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 scale. rotate. Oops. Okay, so really wherever we place this, it's going to punch a hole, right? And the idea is, I guess, we're going to try to punch a hole that is just going a little bit out of this diameter. So I'm going to take our like shoe flap pieces that hold the circular piece, whatever it's called. I don't know my shoe terminology. We're going to take the difference and we'll have something like that when we're done. But I got to be really careful because this is going to be our hole puncher. These are our laces, but these are more specifically going to be, we do a new collection within this collection. We'll do holes. I will go ahead and highlight all these, put them in there. This is the hole puncher. Scaled up a little bit, hide it. We're good. That's exactly what we're looking for. And since the laces are going to be coming through there, we don't really need anything too crazy, right? Now, I'm going to tab into edit mode so that when I duplicate this, it punches the next hole, and then the next, and then the next. And the reason it's glitching like that is because we have a Boolean. So it's going to be constantly trying to recalculate that Boolean every single time we move something. Okay. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's really just a matter of getting as much detail as we can as quickly as possible. Now, if we hide these, we have not only our grommets, but we have the holes as well. Now, for the hole puncher, I want to tab back into edit mode, press A, duplicate this onto the Y. I want to go to Mesh, Mirror, Y Global. Try to line these up. They're not going to line up perfectly. I don't expect them to. But we might have saved ourselves a little bit of time here. Now, L to select just that piece there. Again, L, select that piece, move it. L to select that piece, any loose piece that is like on its own. It's funny, like, you can get by with just a few shortcuts, I feel like. This is looking pretty good, though. It's kind of a weird way to do it, but it's the only way I can, like, really think of. And now we have... Why isn't it... Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. It's working. So we have the holes in the shoe. We have the grommets. One thing we do want to do with our hole punchers is we want to shade them smooth and then hide them. That way the hole itself is also smoothed out. That way it doesn't look janky. And what in the world happened here? How did I not see that happening? What in the world happened there? Oh my God. How did that even... What? I don't even know how that happened. Doesn't matter. We fixed it. All right, let's fix a few of these little, like, mistakes here. Just kind of cleaning up some edges. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm pretty impressed. Where the heck's the bottom of our shoe? Bro? There it is. I thought something looked a little funny. I kind of want to see real quick, like, what everything's looking like. I want to go into our main collection, and I want to make a plane. I just want to, like, shed some light on this thing real quick. Doesn't it deserve just, like, a scene? A little bit of a scene here? I feel like it does. I feel like it deserves something here. A little spotlight action here. We're going to be done pretty soon just for now because I want to make sure we save some stuff for the next live stream. Because believe me, I could go off on a tangent for a while, but I don't want to because we're going to make this a multiple part series and we're going to offer the rest to our paid members. And they're going to also get access to special resources as well, which is going to be awesome. I just want to see, because I can't handle myself enough to just not try this at least. Okay. This shoe is looking pretty nifty though. And we haven't even like gotten into like details or materials or anything like that. It's already looking really cool. And I do just want to apply just a quick material to it. We're going to go into like actual materials later, but I want to do this because I'm a crazy person and I need to at least see what this might look like. Okay. I'm just curious. Just curious what it looks like as a black shoe. Okay, there we go. Cool. And we're obviously we're gonna come back to like actual materials and stuff, but it's like actually looking like a shoe. Like it's looking pretty cool. I'll just give this a quick metallic material, even though I said I wasn't gonna do materials, but I can't handle myself, so we're gonna do it. And then we'll go into laces. We'll go into the cylinders here. We'll highlight all of them. Shift click to add the material. Cool. It's looking really neat. We didn't do the laces yet. Those will probably be like a key detail that we'll add. But like I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks cool. What do you guys think? Be honest. Thoughts? I feel like it looks pretty cool. Let's add a camera. Let's just at least get something into the camera view here. All right, we'll go ahead and rotate that upwards 90 degrees. Go ahead and snap to the camera here. It's a nice show. It's a nice show. I'm pleased with it. All right, let's give this a 100mm lens. And let's go to my camera here. Not bad for like the amount of time that we spent on it. Not terrible. And there we go. Not bad at all. Just wait till we actually get like a nice clean render of this thing. I mean, this is just us messing around right now, but just imagine once we get like a solid render of this thing. It's going to look clean. Yeah, this is going to look sick. I'm excited. I'm excited to slap some materials on there, get the laces going. Like, do we have like 3 minutes left to do the laces. I don't think we could do it in 3 minutes, but I'll show you like how I'm going to go about doing the laces. For the laces, I'll probably do another collection in here, and I'll say like lace it for the lace. I'm going to say laces and grommets because I feel like those are grommets, right? Okay, laces. Perfect. I'm gonna add in a curve, Bezier curve. All right, I'm just gonna go to my top-down view, rotate, SX0, scale it down. Basically, we're gonna use a curve. It's gonna be sort of a complex process. I did this in the last one. It wasn't too bad, but we're gonna take this curve. We're gonna give it a geometry of roundness like that, right? We're gonna scale it out. And we're basically going to subdivide this real quick. Okay, we're going to give it something in the middle here. Okay, and for each one of these, we're going to basically weave them in between. This is not going to be like an easy process, but it is going to be cool when it's all said and done. And it's going to go, yes, it's going to go over the laces. So like, I'll show you, like we would probably start here, right? I'm going to bring each side up. This is not going to be like an even process either. Like it's going to look slightly different on each side. But when we extrude this, right, we're going to basically going to rotate and weave through each individual piece. And then once we get it to the point where we like it, we're going to duplicate over and over again, right? So like I'm just going to start here, extrude, rotate, right, through the loop. Also, I noticed this piece is not where it's supposed to be. There we go. This angle. So like it's going to start there, right? I'm also going to go to my side view and rotate because I want it to sit like this, right? And then for each one of these, they're going to loop back through. So this one would come here, right? It would extrude up and go through the next one. So it would go like through this one here. We could do this like, we can just do this right now real quick. Let me just let my wife know. Hold on. Gotta just be fair to your wife, right? Yeah, so it would be like that. And then for this one, you would extrude it, but it would go underneath of the other one. So for these two right here, you would need to subdivide, bring this up a little bit because this piece is going to come underneath, right? And then it's going to go all the way over here. This is where it's going to be like, you're really going to have to nitpick, right? So like obviously like this piece here will come there. You can scale this down a little bit, rotate it. This will come up for the next one, but it'll still go, this time it'll go, wait a second, under, over. It'll go over. So it goes under, over, under, over. Okay, it alternates. Now I know how shoelaces work. Perfect. So yeah, it'll be something along the lines of this, right? This is going to be like a little bit tricky to get the hang of. In fact, it'll be a total PIA. If you want the honest to God's truth, it's going to be a pain to create all this. Now, as you can see, they're quite jagged. In order to make them better, we can up this resolution here. I'll just do, well, I can do it because my computer can handle it. I'll do 50 and 50 because I can. All right, let's go ahead and do the next one here. So that goes, it went under the first time. It's going over the next time. So this will go over here. Kind of start that there, bring it right here, bring it down, right, like that. Remember, it's not going to be perfect. Just try to get it as close as you can. I mean, the thing is, you can make it perfect if you want to make yourself go crazy. That's totally up to you guys. There we go. So now this one is going to go over this time, right? Yeah, so this one's going to go over. I promise you, you will make yourself go crazy. I'm already making myself go crazy trying to get this correct. But it's going to look cool when it's done, right? And then you can also, smooth it out as well. We're almost to the finish line. Let's just do it. You appreciate the live sessions. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I can't believe I'm sitting here individually weaving. I mean, I'm actually going to go insane. Is this the right? And the other thing is the sole. We're going to obviously have to like fix that a little bit too, right? Because the sole itself, or not the sole, I'm sorry, the tongue has to be fixed because right now, the way it is might not work for what we're trying to do. Actually not coming out too bad though. Wow. Okay, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this And I am going to highlight a few of these edge loops, go to proportional editing. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. There we go. Give us some room here to work with. Okay. This is supposed to go under. However, between this and this, it should be subdivided so that we can bring this up. Oh, get rid of proportional editing. That's a big thing, like forgetting that that's on and then coming down here and trying to do this stuff. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy Lord. Okay. We're getting somewhere here. All right. Let's see if we can do this. Just over again. This one is going to be under. Can I get some credit, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, my Lord. Someone give this man a cookie. He is working to the bone. Oh my gosh, I'm almost there, guys. I'm almost there. Did I miss anything? Hold on, let's see. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. I'm like, did I miss anything? I know it's not perfect, but it's actually technically not supposed to be perfect. And then guess what we get to do at the end? We get to tie the knot. Although I don't know how I'm going to do that, I'll be honest. I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do for that part. Like, I'm going to leave it open-ended like that for right now because I have no idea what I'm going to do. Oh my gosh. Did we actually do it? I think we actually did it. Oh my god, we actually did it. Nice. Give these some material. Sweet. At least we like modeled something. Like I feel pretty happy with having like modeled what we did. The knot. The knot, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. There is, yeah, I have seen the laces generator in geometry nodes. Wouldn't it make more sense to place vertices at those holes, connect them, convert them into a curve, and then add thickness? You could do that. That is another way to do it. The knot. I know. Yeah. Oh, you said the last one. Oh, did I mess something up? Did I mess something up? Let's see. One, two. Oh, wait. Oh, it's supposed to go around. Crap. You're right. You're right. It's supposed to go this way. No, I'm glad you said it before I wasn't able to correct it, because imagine I did all that and then, hold on. My gosh. There we go. You're right. It's supposed to go like this. Thank you, because I'm glad you corrected me on that. See, like, that's a correction that I will always be grateful for, because I had almost messed that up permanently. So it's supposed to go like that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know why why did I go the other way? Well, you could. So like you could use vertices, convert them to curves, and loop it through. In fact, that might be the better way to do it, because then you can be perfect with it. But you know what? I kind of like that it's like not perfect, sort of. I don't know. I kind of like appreciate that it's not perfect, but that's just me. Yeah. So now the knot, we'll come back to that. I'm very, very happy with how far we've come with just some basic modeling skills, at least what I consider to be basic modeling skills. And I think next time what we're going to do is probably like texturing, maybe like set up our scene a little bit more, get some real materials on there. And then the stitching. The stitching will be one of the hardest parts. I'll give you a hint. We can use geometry nodes. We can use an array modifier. But I do just want to let you guys know that the next live stream will be for our premium access members. It's only $4 a month. We highly encourage you guys to sign up. You're going to get access to everything as usual. We're going to have some special tidbits in there for you. Please consider joining. Please, please, please. It's an experiment that we're trying out. And what we're trying to do is basically give you guys access to more. So we're trying to give you access to these almost course-like live streams, if that makes sense, through CG Cookie. So please consider joining the channel if you guys have enjoyed this live stream. If you're enjoying learning a little bit about modeling, because that's primarily what we've been doing in these live streams. Again, it's only $3.99 a month. I highly encourage you to sign up. You already know the YouTube channel is going to be youtube.com/@CG_cookie. There we go. So that's our channel. All you do is you click join, and we will have live streams that aren't paid as well, so don't worry about that. There will all be other live streams, but we're trying something new here. We're trying to get a little bit more involved in the community and have more of a niche group of people who are looking to get these live streams twice a week. So once we start to get members to sign up, we're going to try to have a schedule where I do this twice a week. Does being a Patreon member allow access? I'm not 100% sure. I'll get back to you on that, Mark. We'll have somebody answer that from CG Cookie. Right now, I've just been doing their live streams, but I don't work like on the technical side, so I will have someone answer that for you. But yeah, either way, I think this live stream went great. We had a nice little 2-hour live stream, 2 hours and 11 minutes. And I think what we created, based off a reference of a shoe that I own in real life, I'm pretty darn pleased with how far we got. There's a lot more details to add, such as the stitching, materials, lighting. We're going to have like some kind of fabric, like fur, fuzz type material here. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you guys might not see. Definitely consider joining. And yeah, this was an absolute blast. I hope you guys had so much fun. But like I said, behind the scenes, I'm practicing for hours and hours to prepare for these live streams. So just to help support that and this channel, as well as CG Cookies Ventures, Autotroph, you name it, like these are the things that contribute to those things. Last thing I will say, and thank you, Mark, is that our CG Cookie core fundamentals, if you really want to get into modeling even more than besides what I'm already teaching, I highly suggest you check out our Mesh Modeling by Jonathan Lampel. He's fantastic. And if you aren't interested in that, maybe you're interested in digital sculpting with Kent. He's also fantastic. And then, of course, lighting with Jesse Kaizen. He has his own YouTube channel. He's very popular on YouTube. Highly suggest you check that out as well. We're going to drop a link in the chat for you guys right now. All right. This is something that I can't suggest enough. And I'm not just suggesting it because I'm a part of it. I'm suggesting it because it's truly something that you're able to take everything in Blender and learn something about everything, right? Materials and shading, texturing, animation with Phil, rigging with Wayne Dixon, physics with yours truly, one of my favorite things to teach, although we haven't done it in a while, compositing with Sean Kennedy. I also just wanted to get your opinion, guys, real quick, because I know nobody wants to pay for anything, and I totally get that. I'm the same way. A lot of our educational content is free, but we're trying to vamp it up and make it a little bit more high quality and niche and like an intimate setting where you can see every single detail. I just want to know genuinely what you guys think of this offer of our $3.99 per month. This will basically give you 2 live streams a week, okay, is what we're aiming for. Primarily me being the core teacher here, but we'd also have other people from our CG Cookie team that would be live streaming as well. And they would offer some amazing things just like I do. Mine are a little bit more free-spirited, right? We kind of just go with the flow. Theirs may be a little bit more structured. Each creator is just slightly different. But at the end of the day, we're trying to teach you something valuable that you can bring into Blender. So I just want to get your honest input, what you guys think, and will you guys sign up? Because we want your opinion. We don't want you to feel like you have to do something like this, but we want you to get the best possible education with Blender that you can. This is one of the ways that we can provide that to you. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate the honest feedback. It's great going through it. Thank you. Yes. Are these available with the annual membership? That's also a great question. I will get back to you on that as well. Any questions that you guys have about our next live stream, if you can comment them after this video gets posted, that'll be huge. That way we can comment and answer and get back to you as well. With ADHD, I tend to prefer to follow along with the playlist provided in the website courses. Gotcha, and I totally understand. Obviously, another thing I will mention, once you do sign up for the membership, you will have access to all those premium live streams. So anything that you missed, if you decide you're not ready for the membership yet, you'll get access to those as well in the future. So basically, you're like not grandfathered in, but you're grandfathered in reverse. I don't know. You have access to everything is the point. So yeah, this will be fun. I'm excited to kind of get to some texturing on this one. But guys, I mean, overall, I'm gonna have to mess around with the materials on there. Overall, I'm very pleased with this. One thing I will say is we're also gonna add the details to the bottom of the shoe as well. That'll be a little bit more complex. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I really do. I hope you got something out of it. I hope this wasn't just another modeling tutorial for you. We're genuinely trying to give you the best possible knowledge that we can. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we hope that you guys keep on blending. Please consider joining. Thank you, Mark, for joining. We have our first backstage pass. Mark, thank you so much. We're so excited to see you in the next live stream. It's still not too late for anybody that wants to join. I believe, is there a button? I believe there's a button. Mark, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. There should be a button somewhere over there. Somewhere along there. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, there's, it's literally in the bottom right below my face. It says join. If you guys are interested, we highly suggest you sign up. Are there any last minute questions that anyone has? And are there anybody that's already a member that maybe I wasn't aware that you were already a member? Turn off this depth of field for a second. There we go. Obviously, the materials are going to need some work. The materials and the leather stitching are going to tie this entire shoe together. It's a pleasure, Kenny. The button says join. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Mark, you've been around for a lot of our live streams, my friend. You're a gold member. Is the join button location based? Oh, where is it based? Or where is it? It should be right next to CG Cookie. Now, if you're on mobile, it might look a little bit different, but more or less, it should be somewhere there. Ooh, and you know what I just noticed, guys, that I got to fix real quick before we get off this live stream? Ugh, this is looking bad. Better. Not great, but better. Guys, I'm so happy with this 3D model. I'm so happy. You're in Ghana. I can't see it. Oh no. I hope you have access to it on PC. It should be right next to the CG Cookie, like literally right below. I wish I could. I can show you. Hold on. Dare I open Microsoft Edge? I really don't want to. Let me tell you. Is it really not going to let me? Let me show you guys where the button is. I hate Microsoft Edge, but now I gotta show you youtube.com/@cg_cookie. If you're on the page like this, you're gonna click right here and click join. And if you're on the live, it's gonna be right here. Sorry, right here, right next to the name. It's gonna say join. You can also subscribe if you haven't already. All right, so that's where you're going to find that. That's where it's located. And again, guys, I just want to say one more time, thank you. I hope you are loving the live streams. And like I said, there will be free ones in the future as well. We're just trying something new here at CG Cookie. We put a lot of hard work and effort into these videos, and we hope that you guys genuinely enjoy them. Experience this. You've experienced this with other channels. I wonder if it has to do with your, maybe like where you're located. We'll look into that for you, though, and we'll find a way for you to get access to those as well, okay? Any comments, please drop them down below. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you in the next member-only live stream. Have a great day, and we will talk to you